Welcome to Learn to Read Music Without Playing an Instrument. If you are on the free track, this is the final summary. This video is a little bit longer than 10 minutes because I want to review a lot of what we've talked about and give you a chance to see it all together in action. So let's get started. We are going to look at two excerpts, each from a different score, a different piece of music, to practice some of what we've learned. Going way back to the introduction video, what does this tell you? What does this title tell you? Who's the composer? J.S. Bach, also Johann Sebastian Bach. And what is the title of the piece? Cello Suite No. 1 in G major. So what key signature would you expect when you see the score, the written music? Let's find out. I hope you expected to see 1 sharp. 1 sharp is the key signature for G major, also E minor. So now as we start reading music, you take it one step at a time. I'll work you through the process. It seems like a lot of questions and a lot of different steps, but as you do it more and more, it just becomes second nature and your brain does it almost instantaneously. It's just like anything else. The more you do it, the faster it gets. So what clef are we looking at? The F clef or the bass clef. The key signature, we've already said, is G major or E minor. In this case, G major, because that's what Bach told us. What's the time signature? This is the symbol for common time, which is equal to 4/4 time. So which note gets the beat? The bottom note of a key signature, a time signature tells us which note gets the beat. The bottom number of a time signature tells us which note gets the beat. So a 4 means the quarter note gets the beat. And how many beats are in a measure in common time? 4 beats are in a measure because common time is the equivalent to 4/4 time. The top note of a time signature tells us how many beats are in a measure. I am not a math person. I know music stuff, though. All right, we move on then, and we start naming the pitches, identifying which pitches we see. I'll give you a second or two, and then I'll tell you. All right, so in the first measure, we have G, D, B, A, B, D, B, D, G, D, B, A, B, D, B, D, G, E, C, B, C, E, C, E, G, E, C, B, C, E, C, E, G, F sharp, because there's an F or a sharp on the F line in the key signature. So F sharp, C, B, C, F sharp, C, F sharp, G, F sharp, C, B, C, F sharp, C, F sharp. Okay, next we look at the rhythm or the note values. What note values do you see here? I only see 16th notes. So let's do a little bit of musical math, and hopefully I can keep my words straight. So there are 16 16th notes in a measure that has 4 beats per measure. 4 large beats. The 16th notes subdivide the primary beats. If we were to put 8th notes in each measure instead of 16th notes, how many 8th notes would there be in these 3 measures? If there are 2 8th notes to a quarter note, and there are 4 quarter notes per measure, that means there are 8 8th notes per measure. 8 times 3 measures is 24 8th notes. So how many quarter notes if we were to replace every not the actual pitches, just if we were to take out all these 16th notes and just put quarter notes in, how many would we have total? 12, because 4 per measure times 3 measures is 12. And half notes, 6, because 2 per measure times 3 measures is 6. And how many whole notes? 3, because 1 whole note per measure times 3 measures is 3 whole notes. All right, let's move on to another piece of music. What can we learn about this music just from the title? Who is the composer? Frédéric Chopin. What is the title of the piece? Waltz Minuto in D flat major. And what key signature would you expect? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flats. That is indeed D flat major. Also B flat minor, but Chopin told us that he has written this in D flat major. So 5 flats, D flat major. Now, as we work through this, I will say I tried really hard to find pieces of music in the public domain that had been scanned, that were legible, and also included a variety of things for you to look at and practice. And it was really, really hard. So there are some things in here that you haven't seen. I will explain them when we get there, or you can ignore them. Okay, I'll explain them when they're relevant. But let's just start figuring this out from the beginning. The first thing you do when reading a piece of music, identify the clef. This is a G clef or a treble clef. We've already seen the key signature is D flat major or B flat minor. The title tells us D flat major. What is the time signature? 3/4, which note gets the beat? The quarter note, because a 4 tells us the quarter note gets the beat. How many beats are in a measure? 3, because the top note of a time signature tells us how many beats are in a measure. Now we are going to get to the part. If you are looking through this, trying to identify or name the pitches, you will notice this weird box shape with tails going up and down next to some of the G's. This is a natural sign. I don't think I went over this in the free video, but the reason there is a natural sign is because the key signature has a flat on the G line, which says all of the G's in this music should be flat. But for whatever reason, Chopin wanted these particular G's to be natural. So we have a symbol called an accidental to identify that. All right, I'll give you a minute or a few seconds to name some of the pitches, then I will do my best to read them without stumbling over my tongue. All right, so we begin with A flat, G natural, A flat, C, B flat, G flat, natural, G natural, A flat, B flat, A flat, C, B flat, G natural, 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 A flat. All right. The thing I didn't mention is that natural signal applies to all the G's in that measure, and then the measure line starts it over again as a flat, unless there's a new natural. Sorry about that. Okay, so you can see there's a lot of repetition here, which means as you get more fluent in learning to read music, this becomes very quick to read. I know I was slow and stumbling because I'm not used to actually saying the pitches. My fingers just know what to do. Or if you're a singer, your brain and your body knows what to do to create that desired pitch. Anyway, let's move on to the note values, the rhythm. See what you see here. I hope you see a quarter note and a whole bunch of eighth notes. So we have one quarter note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, and everything else is eighth notes. We can move on. All right, this one has a dynamic marking. Now there is a marking over the quarter note that I didn't go over in the free videos. Just ignore that. That's not actually a dynamic marking, that's an articulation mark. But there is a dynamic mark here in this excerpt. I see a crescendo symbol, a crescendo hairpin signal, not the word, at the very last measure. So a crescendo tells us to gradually get louder. Now, louder from what to what? We don't know because Chopin hasn't told us where we're starting. And at least in this excerpt, we don't know where we're going. How loud does he want us to get? This is something that sometimes happens, and it is up to the musician to use their musical instinct to just know because of the music as you play it, you get a feel for it. Maybe you know, okay, this one, it says molto vivace. I didn't tell you this, but this just means really, really, really fast and energetic. So probably I'm doing this kind of loud because energetic, loud, energy, right? And so we're probably going from like loud to really loud, maybe. I don't know. I haven't played this piece. But that could be the way you would think about this if you're a musician. Congratulations, you are reading music. I am so happy for you. Some of the next steps you might want to think about, you could begin to study music theory. Whether that's from me, I don't have any music theory courses right now, but they are in the plans. We will see what the future holds. But whether that's from me, whether that's with free resources online, whether that's with a teacher, whether that's self-study, you just grab a textbook and try to teach yourself, you could learn music theory. You could learn an instrument or to sing by reading music. And if you do that and you're really interested in learning more music theory, some music theory will be incorporated, but you can also tell your teacher that you really want to have a focus on music theory as you're learning this instrument or learning to sing. And that will help them know how to tailor your lessons to what your interests are. You could just get scores like I hope you've been doing throughout this class, looking for public domain scans of scores and practice reading music. If you come on something that you don't know or haven't found or haven't learned yet, you could look it up, or if that's not helping you, just skip over it and do what you know. And as you do what you know, that gets faster and faster and easier. Or you could just say, great, I've learned to read music. What's next? And go on to the next thing. Learn to paint, learn to ride horseback. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Maybe you just like learning for the sake of learning and you've done this and you feel good. Whatever your reasons for learning music, whatever you decide your next steps are, congratulations. I am so happy that you have learned to read music.